Okay, can we acknowledge ourselves for being here tonight? Us. Well, welcome to the Way of Mastery. Would you just take a breath with me for a minute, please? And just direct as much peace and love as you possibly can toward me. Surround me with light. Ask the voice for love, the voice for truth to come through this luscious black body. That would be my desire. Just remember, you don't have to believe anything that I say, nothing that this says. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to welcome it. Some of it you're going to find hard to believe, and some of it's going to, quite frankly, be very startling. But that's what excites me about this, is that it's saying things to me that I don't hear every day. Isn't that what turns you on, too? You have an opportunity to hear something besides what we normally hear. Tonight we're going to be talking about the doorway. The doorway to greater God consciousness. And that's the same as saying we're going to talk about the doorway to greater love consciousness. We're going to talk about the doorway to greater love consciousness. Did I say we're going to talk about the doorway to greater love consciousness? And that's God consciousness. God consciousness is love consciousness. So just take a minute. I'm going to take a minute to kind of go through a little of it and kind of get us centered in. And so just take a breath. And indeed, beloved friends, in the way of knowing, 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 there is a certainty of knowing. You have to know that it's the places in which fear seems to be cropping up. Wherever fear seems to be cropping up, is in the places that fear seems to be cropping up that is actually the doorway to greater God consciousness. So whatever is upsetting you in any way right now, or frightening you in any way right now, you're at the doorway. So we all smashed against the door tonight, aren't we? Hope we don't crush each other. So wherever you have fear cropping up in your life right now, you're at the doorway of love. You're right at the doorway of God consciousness. And it says if there is something that you feel fearful of sharing with another, that's your doorway. So if there's something you're afraid to share with somebody, that's where your doorway is. So go and share your truth. For no other reason, not to persuade. Don't try to share your truth to persuade anybody. Don't try to share your truth to be right, but just to do the sharing so that you can get through your own ring of fear. I need to talk to you about it so I can get past my fear. I need to talk to you about this because I need to get past my fear. I'm having some fear about something with you right now. And so I need to talk to you about it so that I can get past my fear. One of my biggest fears that I need to talk about is my fear of fully allowing myself to receive all the love that I feel from you. Because I think if I let it all the way in, I'll just die. I'll explode. The part of me that doesn't think I deserve that much love, I get afraid it's going to take me out. You ever have that happen behind something wonderful happening, that there's a part of you that's looking for the shoe to fall? Anybody know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm going through right now. It's like I just experienced such love before I went to Spain, and such love in Spain, and then such love after Spain, that I've just been in a state of terror ever since I landed in Denver. You know what I'm saying? You know, I go across Colfax extra careful. Colfax is well known for wiping people out. So that's a good way to go. So I need you to bear with me because my heart is full. And the thing I want to be able to do more than anything is love you. I'm not as interested in the concepts and these words on the page as I am with actually feeling some love between us. So in the immortal words of my friend Seal, tell spirit, bring it on. Wherever you're afraid to talk, that's the doorway. That's what we're being told. That's how you get through the ring of fear. That's all. If you feel your heart constantly calling you to live penniless on the streets of London, it has been calling you for 30 years to go live penniless on the streets of London, then go and sell all that you have and follow your heart. If that's your heart. Now, I know that the world hasn't taught you to live that way. I know the world hasn't taught you to follow your heart. Wow. But the world is the opposite of the truth. The world is the opposite of the truth of love. So love all. What does that mean? Free all. How do I free you? I just let you be. I just let all of you all be. Whatever you think you need to do, then I support you doing what you think you need to do and following your own heart. And I'm not trying to control you in any way, and I'm holding you 100% responsible for your experience. I'm holding myself 100% responsible for my experience. And I recognize that we are all infinitely powerful God-like beings, and we're choosing to have the kind of experiences that we're having because we're pretending that we don't know that we are spiritual beings who create. So part of the freedom I want to give you is I want to honor the fact that you're choosing every single thing that you experience. And I'm going to support you having that freedom without me interfering with it. So when you're really practicing the truth, it's going to look like you're doing nothing. And let me tell you, that's the best thing you could do for most people. He told us the world would be a much better place if we just did nothing. Get out of the way. Right? So wherever you're afraid, that's where you're at the doorway of love. And whoever you're afraid to talk to, that's where the doorway is. Then it tells us that we need to follow our heart, no matter what people think. Like I had a corporate job in moving up the corporate ladder, getting ready to be promoted to vice president, and I quit because that wasn't what my heart was into. Never forget that day, I just stopped. They asked me to get some kind of report, and I called my boss up and said, hey, I'm gonna come over to the office. I need to talk to you about something. So I went over there and I told him that, and this was pretty deep. I was the first black person in this whole city that had this position. So not only if I chose to do something else, would that be a big deal, but also I was one of those infamous first blacks. So everything, all the weight was on my shoulder to prove we was worthy to actually work in this position. And I told him, I said, look, my heart really isn't in what I'm doing. It's not really where my heart is. And so I'm going to have to choose out of this right now because I got to follow my heart. And my heart was to teach and share the truth like you're seeing me do today. And I was going to share something called A Course in Miracles that nobody ever heard of. And I was on the side, I was also going to be an astrologer and a numerologist. So I was going to be a black astrologer, numerologist, Course in Miracles teacher. And my wife had no idea that was going to happen when I left for work that morning.
Surprise!
And I got a kid that's, both in junior high and high school. I How about that? But I felt within, like he says, if you feel your heart is constantly calling you to live penniless on the streets of London, it has been calling to you for 30 years, go and sell all you have and follow your heart. And that's the opposite of what the world teaches, because the world would say you stay on something that you really don't like for security. Mm-hmm. It's not about following your heart, it's about paying those bills. Mm-hmm. And so become the one who serves all. Okay, so I wanted to serve everybody. Then it says by how? By loving yourself first, and that's where I got stuck. It was loving myself first, because I had been taught that love was about me sacrificing my happiness in my heart to try to make somebody else happy who wouldn't recognize what I was doing because they were so miserable themselves. So you're trying to make somebody happy that's not happy themselves and never recognize it. The trip, you're working that hard, not even get no credit. Then it goes on to say, become the one that serves all by loving first yourself. Learn to quiet the roar and the din of the world, which is nothing more than your decision to place value on how the rest of the world is thinking. So how do you quiet the world's pressure on you? The way that you quiet the roar of the world is to make the decision that you're not going to place any more value on what the world is thinking. So the world will keep on encroaching on you as long as you give its thinking any value. Everybody clear about that? Then it says, serve only that voice of truth within yourself. How do you do that? Well, it says, well, the voice of truth within you is the voice that says, go start a garden today. And first you think, oh yes, then you realize, I don't even know how to garden. Earl, go out and share the truth in your heart. I don't really know what it is I'm getting ready to share. Oh, I really in my heart have wanted to be a singer. Oh, but I don't know exactly how I would make that happen. How is not our business. The how is not your business. The how is not your business. The how is not your business. How it's going to happen is not your business. How it's going to happen is not your business. Following your heart is your business. Asking yourself, what do I really want, is your business. What do I really want? He says in this book, you should ask yourself that 100 times a day. What do I really, really, really want? So then it says, how am I going to figure this out? But I really want to start a garden, so go start it. Like a lot of times people, they waiting for the right time to start something. It's like, why don't you just start it and see what happens? Some would say this is living from your authenticity. I do not speak of what is authentic as being what the mind thinks, because what the mind thinks is just a social image. So being authentic is not about you being true to a social image. You trying to be true to what the world, Earl, has taught you that you should want to do or want to be. Then it goes on to tell us this isn't authentic at all. That's a mask. That's just a persona. So right now, I would like you to, since we're close to Halloween, I'd like for all of you to look around the room and look at everybody in their Halloween costumes. This is just, we just looking at right now a bunch of masks and a bunch of personas, a bunch of social images. Isn't that deep? But we know that's exactly what's happening, because none of y'all, nothing like what y'all acting like right now. Just the biggest bunch of frauds that ever sat in spiritual class. You know you're rebels. You know you don't want to do it and think it the way everybody else does. You know that's what you are. You wouldn't even be sitting up in here. No normal person sits in one of my places.
Well, what's normal?
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly the question. What's normal? So that's the decision that I came to. Because nobody tell me what my normal was. You see? And And my wife had such faith in me that I could come home and say I had quit a job that I was getting ready to be promoted to, upper management, then the first black body that ever had that position, and didn't really get really upset, as I recall. So I had to get rid of her. So we got divorced later. That's funny. But it was a collaborative decision, because you never do anything alone. Whatever happens between you and the other person, you're both equally responsible for what happened. That's right. Even if it looks like it's your fault most of the time. Some of us want to play that role. I'm one of them. It looks like it's my fault. Oh, it looks like it's my fault. Oh, it looks like because of me, somebody's going through this. Or it looks like because of me, somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's like you take on that responsibility like you're the one that's responsible for the other person's happiness. Before you even know it, you get caught up in that illusion. And before you know it, and then other people will play the role of letting you play that role. They'll be perfectly happy to let you be completely responsible for everything that's happening. And say that they have nothing to do with it because they're so nice and innocent. I mean, you wouldn't kill nobody if they didn't mess with you first. So this is good, isn't it? This will go further.
What page number?
It's on page 331, in the way of knowing, in the way of mastery. Don't forget now, you don't have to believe anything that I'm saying, because if you think you have to believe what I'm saying, it might close your mind to hearing it. If you think I'm trying to convince you, convert you, anything like that, it'll block your willingness to hear what I'm saying. So I want to assure you, I have no desire to in any way make you feel like you need to do this, agree with it, or believe it, or anything like that. Okay, so it says, what is authentic is what you feel in the core and depth of your being. Now, check this out. What's authentic is what you feel in the core of your being, but it says what? In innocence. It's what you're feeling in the depth of your being without guilt. If you think you're looking within and all you feel is guilty when you get through looking within, you didn't look within. Okay? You can't look within and feel guilty. You can't look within and feel guilty. You can't look within and feel guilty. If you look within, you'll see your innocence. What if you look within and saw no sin? What if you look within and wasn't nothing wrong with you? Suppose there's not anything to fix about you. We wouldn't know what to do without David. So it says, the innocent heart is not needy. The innocent heart doesn't require selected individuals to agree with it. So if I have an innocent heart, I don't need you to agree with me tonight. And if you have an innocent heart, then you won't need me to agree with you. Then it goes on to say, the innocent heart doesn't wait until the universe nods its head in approval. Wow, I like that. The innocent heart merely knows it is innocent and acts from the innocence and is not attached to the opinions of the world. So if you want to be successful and happy in whatever you try to do, then the first thing you do is stop being needy, don't require people to agree with you, and don't wait till the universe nods its head in approval. Know that you're innocent, act from your innocence, and stop being attached to the opinions of people. That's how you have what you want. If you really want to have what you want, according to this, you know that you're innocent, you don't live from your persona or social image, you stop being so needy, even though your needs will be met. You don't require certain people to agree with you, and you don't wait for the world to nod its head in approval, and you try to act from the place that you're innocent and that you're not going to be attached to the opinions of the people of the world. So that was very specific instructions about how to come from your authenticity and be in touch with your power. We can't say we haven't heard it. Right? Then it just becomes our choice whether we're going to keep looking at it the old way, which is valuing the opinions of others, thinking that I'm needy, needing people to agree with me, looking for the world to say it's okay, and then think I'm going to be I'm guilty, and then I'm going to act from my guilt. and at the same time I'm going to be attached to the opinions of everybody. That's what we've already tried. That I just described what the average person does. So, and we've already had an opportunity to see the result of that. It's the world we're living in. So we can't say we don't know what that kind of attitude produces. It produces the world that we're living in, which is a world that it looks like anything can happen to you at any time. Some of it good, some of it not so good. I call a good day a day that everything goes according to my script, and a bad day is when the day didn't turn out the way my fantasy said they should turn out. So my happiness really isn't based on anything real. So it doesn't ever last. Wow, because my happiness is based on me getting my wishes and fantasies fulfilled, and not on me knowing the truth of what is. Y'all with me on that? Yeah. And then when you come up with your fantasy about what you think everybody needs to do for you in order to make you happy, you become a control freak. Mm-hmm. And then you start manipulating everybody around you and not being able to be objective about anything because you can't be a reliable witness because you're always wondering how what they're doing is going to affect you. So then you're not giving anybody an honest answer about anything. You know what I'm saying? If you're my girlfriend and you're going to come to me about advice about should you go out with the cute guy you met today at work, it's going to be hard for me to be a reliable witness to that premise. I'm not going to be an objective witness to that. My advice is going to be tainted because I have a personal investment. So whenever you go to people who have any kind of personal investment in what you're talking about, they can't be really, truly honest and authentic with you. But that's what we do. We go to the people who would be most affected by the decision to ask their opinion. Mm-hmm. That's why the person on the airplane is a better counselor. There is no investment on their part. You'll never see each other again. And sometimes I'm amazed when I fly and I listen to what people talk about on the airplane, how intimately they will tell you the school they went to, their hood. I mean, I just watch them. Why? Because they figure they're never going to see that person again. They don't have any investment. They're not afraid of loss. So what you have is the holy instant. It's more spirituality on the crowded airplane than it is in a spiritual class where people are scared to speak to each other. Isn't that deep? Mm-hmm. And we totally innocent. And I'm gonna throw this open for questions in a minute. There's just some concrete thing I'd like to share first before we play with the ideas, which is what we. If you play with an idea, that's all it is. It's just a toy. But if you actually apply an idea, you'll see that you'll receive exactly what it is you want. So when people tell me they studied stuff but it's not working, I know they aren't applying the ideas. That's all. They think they're applying the ideas, but they're not. They're analyzing them. They're philosophizing about them. They're weighing them back and forth. They're trying to imagine what's going to be the result of using that idea. You see what I'm saying? They're not actually using that. They might even memorize the idea. Be able to, and that really makes them think they must be doing it. Because they said, I can quote to you what the Course in Miracles says, so why isn't it working in my life? You know, I can quote what it says in a cookbook about how to bake a cake, and I still can't bake one. You know what I'm saying? Until I actually get some flour on my hand and some milk and some eggs and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So don't think that because you're hearing these ideas, that it means you're doing them. Or that you come to this class, it means you're doing it. Or because if you do, what's going to happen is you're going to get depressed on the spiritual path and you're going to think it's not working. And then you want to put it down. See? So always tell yourself, if I'm not getting the result, I must not be applying the ideas. And then ask Spirit to show you how to apply the ideas. That's all you got to do. Stop wanting to be right when you're not getting what you want. You know, that's what he said. Stop wanting to be right when you're miserable. If you're unhappy about your love life, you should be telling yourself, I'm completely wrong about everything I know about love and a love life. I don't have the right perception of love or love life. I don't have the right perception of a relationship, but I want it. Whenever you think you are denied something and you think you've done everything right, that's a stalemate. There's no way you can go with that. You see what I'm saying? If you in any area of your life that you're not pleased in right now and you're telling yourself you're doing it right and it's not happening, think about what you're telling yourself. Mm-hmm. When I do it right, it doesn't happen. It would be better to say, when I do it right, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I meant when I said earlier about I wanted to free everybody in this room, because I know that we are all given alternatives of ways we can think and behave, but we choose not to use them, which means it's okay for us to get the result that we get of not applying it. So therefore, I don't have to get all broken up because of what you're putting yourself through when you know better. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that for me, because I have a choice now. I can be authentic. I can follow my heart. I can say I'm not going to deal with the opinions of the world. I can say that I'm going to act from my core. I can say that I'm going to get started and stop talking about getting started. You see what I'm saying? So if I walk out of here tonight and I don't apply any of this, why should anybody have all this feeling sorry for me stuff going on? I'm the one that decided to keep doing what I was already doing. So why should I get all bent out of shape because you're getting the result of it? When you have a choice and you know it. No, my compassion would be in trusting that God is within you and truth is within you and you're a powerful being and you can change your mind whenever you get ready, because you got love on your side just like I do, and you have guidance just like I have guidance. That's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to believe in who you are. Even if it looks like I'm going to let you crash until you ask for help. And then you sincerely want it. That's all we're being told about all this spiritual stuff all the time. Ask, and you'll receive. Wow, deep.
Yeah.
I was thought I just supposed to ask my buddy Bubba. Your friends be saying, oh Lord, here he comes. He's getting ready to ask. I'm asking of the wrong person, right? So and I don't speed through this stuff, and I tell you why I don't speed to it, because I believe everybody in here can read. So for me to speed through stuff without us taking a minute to contemplate it, I feel is not taking advantage of the power of these ideas, because we can read without having to pay attention to what we read. So I can go through this fast, and everybody can hear it. But when I say something like, I didn't know I was going to be coming home that night, because I said, well, look, I'll give you 2 weeks notice, when I told the boss I was not going to stick around. He said, no, just now. 2 weeks notice, you can leave now. Because he was disappointed. He was grooming me. But my heart wasn't in it. I could have made him a lot of money and made a lot of debt, and that could have tempted me to stay in there even more, because now I got this big old house note to pay. A lot of people get owned by their houses, and they think they own their houses. They get owned by their car, and they think they own their car. It's funny, how much our material possessions own us, but we think we own it, just like our dogs. The funny thing, I'm the master. Well, who's in the middle of the snowstorm walking somebody? The dog is going. I'm gonna pass this around. This the contact list if you dare, so I can send you a copy of the video so you can listen to it when you want to on YouTube. So. That's why I refuse to buy a car that I'll be afraid of somebody denting. Because then the car owns me. Because anyway, if you park all the way across the parking lot, you get the new car, you have to hike back to the store. You have to get a taxi to get back to the store because you park your new car so far away that you don't want nobody to hit it. And you go, well, what's on and what? So I'd like to say to you then that anytime, he said, authenticity is the core through which Christ's mind grows. Now what is Christ? When you hear that word Christ, it's like that can bring up a lot of stuff. But the core says that Christ is nothing but the one self we all share. That's it. There's one self and we all share it. It's like there's one air in this room and we all share it. If somebody cuts off the air in this room, all of us will fall out on the floor. So we're all sharing the same whatever it is that's keeping us alive right now, that we are calling air. Take it away, the bodies crumble. And so that means we're all part of the same life force. And we're all partaking of the same life force. So I think it's a possibility we might all be the same thing. It's just our bodies and our egos make us think we're different. Our bodies and our persona. I'm Earl Purdy. And this is Earl Purdy's body. Take away the life force, take away the air, Earl will fall on this floor, and so will everybody else. So it's not the body that's really Earl. It's the life force. So you think when you drop your body, the life force ends? Nah. You just gonna have to make the same choices you're making right now. You just have to make it without the awareness of a body and an ego. But you'll still have to choose. I'm sorry. You've died so many times you've forgotten about it, but you're pretending that you don't know it right now, and that's okay. You can pretend that you're not eternal. That's okay. That's the name of the game we're playing. And we've done a great job of forgetting who we are. That's kind of way out, isn't it? I'm saying that you all are immortal, yep. But you don't know it. You think you're your body, so you think when your body go, you go. But the reason why it looks like when a person's body goes, they go, is because the body is the communication device, and without the communication device, the person can't talk to you. Just like just like right now, CBS is on the air, right? But unless we have a television, we can't watch it. But does that mean CBS isn't existing because we don't have a TV sitting here? Well, it doesn't mean the people you know don't exist because they don't have a body sitting here. They just don't have the communication device that they had to talk to you through, which is these physical bodies. They're just ways for us to communicate and join. But we've fallen in love with them, and we think that's us now. So we've lost sight of our true identity. And then we divide into men, women, black, white, all that other stuff. Rich, poor, Irish, African American. We just divide and subdivide so much that we forget that we're just the same thing, looking different. And so your unique appearance is the special way you bring the love to everybody else. And nobody can compete with you because there's nobody else exactly like you in the sense that the way love is going to come through you and truth is going to come through you and joy is going to come through you is unique to you and no one else at all. We wanted to be special, we got it. So we are special. We look different. We look like we got different ages and backgrounds. We pulled off the specialness. We've done it. Okay, now it's time to do part 2 of the game, which is to come back into the realization that we are one self and that we're not the victims of anything that's happening to us and that abundance and joy and love is our natural state. And we shouldn't be scared and worried all the time. We're the ones that want to come back to the realization of who we are now. Okay, and then we're being told, well, how do you do that? You do that by being authentic, not acting according to your social image, your mask, your persona. What you do is you go deep down into the core of your being and get in touch with your innocence and stop being needy and stop needing selective individuals to agree with you and don't wait until the world nods its head in approval and merely know that you're innocent and act from your innocence and don't be attached to the opinions of your world. That is how you move back into phase 2 of the recognition of your spiritual identity. We've done everything that you do to forget who we are. Now we need to do all the thinking that you do to remember the power and glory of who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of us, we're ready for part 2. Yeah. Everybody who still want to do part 1, I bless you, 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 I bless you. Those who want to do part 2, please join with me consciously. Let's support each other and go into part 2.
Let's go.
Okay, so how do we do that? Well, stop being needy with each other and stop needing you all to agree with each other. And be subject to the opinions of, in other words, practice that with each other. I'm going to focus on your innocence, and I'm going to also recognize that my opinion should not really ultimately matter in terms of you following your heart and doing what you want to do. So if I'm your partner, I'm going to be reminding you that you're innocent and you're free, and I support you in being your core authentic self. Even if you don't do it the way I want you to do it, I'm going to love your butt anyway. If you're not with somebody like that, fire them. Because you're not at the doorway of God consciousness. That's just going to help you keep on forgetting. Whew. This is tough stuff for a control freak like me to hear. I don't know about y'all. Oh, this is control freak hell. Like, who's going to do control freak hell out there? Tell the truth. You got your script about how you think everything should be going right now. As a matter of fact, I bet you a bunch of you all have your plan.
Oh, yeah.
And you got your plan all mapped out. Wow. Ask yourself, is this plan a social plan? Or is this plan your plan? Are you doing what society and the world programmed you to think was supposed to happen for you to be happy? Or are you really following your heart? Are you truly being authentic? Or are you just a programmed robot and you've forgotten that you aren't that? Notice I'm not telling anybody to follow me, to sell your house and your car and come give me your money and all of that stuff. All I'm telling you is that you're free and I support you in following your heart. A cult leader doesn't do that. It'd be a pitiful cult leader. I'm the cult leader, now you free. Oh God. Okay. So authenticity is I'm just a guy that wants to wake up to who I really am and stop suffering and be happy all the time and be connected with people in love and want to join with some other people that see the insanity of this creation that we've made, even though it's really pretty. You know what I'm saying? There's some pretty mountains around here, but there's some crazy people in the mountains. There's some pretty cars, but there's some nuts behind the wheel, you know what I'm saying? So we need to want to work on the content of it as much as the physical part of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can have a beautiful man as you deem beautiful men, and he'd be just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people who want to wake up, they're putting the content to be more important than just the form or the appearance of it. Unconscious people are only concerned with how you look. If you look good, you are good. That's how you think them serial killers get a lot of them women. They don't come up there going like this. Will you go out with me? They're like, hello, what's happening? I saw you. I would like to see if you'd like for me to sit down with you right now. Somebody as beautiful as you should not be here. My name is Jack. Jack Dahmer. That's right. So you better start knowing what you're looking for.
Okay.
All right. So that when it show up, you will know it. You know, if I meet a woman now and she says to me, I ain't gonna never let you out of my sight. You can't even look at another one. You better just be me no matter what. See, then I already know I'm dealing with a psycho.
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't know she's a psycho. She'll think she's a normal person. But this is going to be a person that's jealous, that's going to be insecure, that's going to be controlling, that's going to be want to watch you every minute. It's all off in your cell phone. But she's so pretty. That butt is worth a little insanity, I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all really do know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, then that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say you can walk out and you can continue to do the way you've done before, but you've really been freed. So I can feel good about you and good about myself after the class is over. Because I know I would have shared a way out of whatever it is the person thinks they're going through. And I can also go to bed feeling good because I know that if you don't get it through this, you'll get it another way because the truth will come to you in a variety of ways. So it's not going to just be through what I'm teaching. Right? Mm-hmm. That's cool. And it cools me out. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe you don't resonate to me. But that's not going to stop the love from getting to you. That's like with another person. Well, maybe you don't resonate with me, but that's not going to stop love from coming to me. I know that's true. I've been on the planet long enough to see that's true. I never run out of people who love me. Who want to, until they find out I'm a serial killer. I murdered some cornflakes just this morning. I'm a serial killer. Oh, yeah. Don't you get it, guys? I don't care y'all's opinions of my jokes. That's right. You don't have to agree with them. That's right. That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine how much fun it would be to be in an argument with somebody who absolutely didn't care about anything that you were saying? They would never get upset. They wouldn't hold a grievance against you, or anything, because they know that you have a right to your opinion, even if it's different from theirs, and you have a right to your perception, even if it's different to theirs. So, so if you were arguing with a conscious person, you wouldn't even know it because they would never defend themselves. Mm-hmm. The person that's defending themselves is the person that believes what you're saying is vulnerable. It's something that can hurt them. Mm-hmm. And what's really weird is that once you stop defending yourself, you find that the attacks stop. You go, why is my life more peaceful now? Wait a minute, I don't attack as much as I used to. So I'm not defending like I used to. And so I'm not being attacked like I used to be. Have y'all noticed that even in the way it looks in the world, the more we attack, the more it seems like there's more things that we have to be afraid of? I don't know if y'all notice what's happening in the world because you're too spiritual to look at the news. But every now and then, you know what I'm saying? Because some people, they don't, that's part of being spiritual is that you absolutely keep your head in the sand 100% of the time. Okay. If I stand in the middle of the railroad track and the train coming and I put my hands over my eyes, I won't get hit. Sometimes people tell me, well, I'll find out what I need to know. You will find out what you need to know, but you might want to hear the tornado siren before you see the tornado at your house. Yeah. Eventually you would know there is a tornado because it'd be right your door. But if they could have given you a little early warning system, that would have helped. So our early warning system is our spiritual identity. God, that which created us, the universe that we're connected to. Spirit is, that's all we need is the truth. And I don't believe that. And so I'm in a class so I can get rid of every block that keeps me from believing what I'm reading. If I already believed all this, there would be no need to be sitting in here. We already believed all this, there wouldn't be any need for us to do any of this. So you need to admit to yourself at some point that you don't really know anything. So you can get some information. That's what I'm learning. Because when I first got into metaphysical spirituality, I used to say, I know everything. I am the infinite intelligence of the universe, and I know all that is. And really didn't really know, what the combination to my say was. So I realized that every time I said I know, then I was shutting off the guidance and the information that I could get from the universe. Because if I already know, there's no need for you to tell me something. So I realized that it was better for me to say I don't know about what something is for if I'm not experiencing the kind of peace that I think I deserve to have, so that I can get the real solution given to me by the universe. I don't know what a relationship is for. I don't know what money is for. That's what a person needs to be saying, especially if somebody don't have none. I don't know what it's for. That's why I don't have it. You want a relationship, what do you want it for? You want money, what do you want it for? You want success, what do you want it for? You want God, what do you want it for? You want love? He said, what do you want it for? Will determine how quickly you perceive it.
Say that again.
Knowing what you want it for and asking what you want it for, that determines how quickly you perceive it. See, I know what you're for now. You're for my reawakening into the love that I am. And I'm for the reawakening of the love that you are to be recognized again, and that we are one, and that we're the same, and that we're these powerful, infinite beings who's created everything that's ever happened to us as part of our experience of this adventure that we decided to have. This is supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be fun. We're like somebody that went to Hawaii on vacation and then went down to the employment office. You're supposed to be on vacation. We're supposed to be having a good time and helping each other at the same time. Right? If I'm supposed to appreciate you, it sure in hell would be a lot easier to do it if I had something to appreciate you about. And vice versa. So that's why I try to hang out with people I care about, and people I love, and people feel good to me, and I feel good to them. Because then it's effortless to appreciate them.
Yes.
But I used to do it the other way. I spend all my time with the people who drive me crazy trying to figure out how to like them. And I call that spiritual growth. Some of y'all recognize exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. You spend all your time trying to make yourself like something that you don't like. Whether it's a job, whether it's a person, whether it's you're working hard to make yourself like something that you don't like. It would be much easier to love something that you really loved and appreciated. So that's why we're being told, follow your heart, because if you're following your heart, you're going to be doing that which fulfills you. So then you'll have a life that's fulfilling. So it'll be easy for you to have gratitude for everything in your life, and that will just increase all of the blessings that you have. Now, I know it's hard at the beginning, because at the beginning we got the thing we bitching and moaning about. And we think that that's what the real deal is. So when we first hear about this kind of path, I never see people jump up and down in joy. Because it seems like they got this insurmountable obstacle that they got to overcome. Their thinking, their programming, their friends, their jobs. It seems all overwhelming because we forget we're not alone. That's where our lack of faith in our Creator comes in. Because it's the temptation is to think it's just something else that you got to try to do on your own. Because we're basically atheists. An atheist is just somebody who thinks they're alone. Isn't that deep? So the people who think they're atheists think that these are people who say, I don't believe in God. And the truth says, no. An atheist is a person who thinks that they're alone and on their own doing something. And a martyr is somebody that thinks that love and happiness demand sacrifice and suffering. So somebody who thinks that suffering and sacrifice is what brings happiness, they seek out relationships and situations that they suffer in so that they can finally suffer themselves to joy. How do you like that for a plan? I'm going to be so miserable that I turn happy. Let me tell you, I've been trying that plan for a long time. It don't work. It don't work. It don't work. So the happiest I allow myself to feel is when I'm with you. Because all my other relationships are more special. So thank you for the pure joy I have out of the week. Because y'all know it's the special ones that you go up and down with, happy one day, unhappy the next day. Y'all feel good in the morning, don't like them in the evening, can't feel enough of them tonight. You want to throw them out the window the next day. You know, it's like, it's those special people in those special situations that always have us going through a bunch of changes. But since we don't really have a deep, intimate, special relationship with each other, I can just be in here and go, ah. Y'all don't care what I do. When I leave me, y'all leave me. Y'all not gonna be concerned what I do tonight and who I do it with, or if I do. When you're not special, you're free. Let's grumble. That don't feel right. I've been happy for a whole year now. I've been by myself. I think I'll get a lover. I think I'll get somebody that's totally going to control every little thing that I do. Dang, that sounds like a winner. Because I'm lonely. So what happens if you choose to do something like that? You choose to have a relationship. What should it be? How should you handle that? What would be the right way to go about that? First of all, like them.
Like them?
Yeah, like them. Like them. You can tell somebody you love. You know what I'm talking about? There are people that you love that you don't like. And there are people that you love that you like. You want to go for the like. The person that just their presence is something that you use to stimulate joy in you. It's not what they even do. It's just something about them that just being in their presence brings you some form of joy. Now, if you're with somebody that you only feel that way if they act out everything that you say you want them to do, then that's not the real deal. And that's the way I used to always do it. Any of you? Any of you? It's called I'm angry at you. That's the flip side of I'm angry at you. There's a script I got for you that you're not doing. My script said you should be home at 7:30 for dinner tonight, and you didn't come. And now I'm mad. And you're just a selfish bastard. Yeah. Okay, now all of those thoughts that are coming through me are affecting me first. All that anger is affecting me first. The person I'm saying it to doesn't feel any of it. They don't feel any of it. They don't feel any of it. When I say any of it, I mean none of it. So while you're going, now who you think that's hurting? You. So when these books say stuff like anger isn't justified, let go of anger, it's not trying to take from us some righteous vengeance that we want to take on something away from us. It's just saying you're killing yourself. Stop attacking yourself. Nobody else is feeling it. I mean, it's the worst thing in the world that could happen is the person that hates you kills themselves. That's what they do. The people that hate you kill themselves. With all that anger and attack that they only feel and not you. So it takes them out. Deep. Woo! Woo! Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. I need to do a little kumbaya around here. You know, the Ku Klux Klan will go, kumbaya. Anyway, that's another joke. Okay, now, people in the South will get that joke. Those in the South that's watching this, you get that joke. Okay. So anytime you look and see that you have not been living authentically and decide to take a deep breath and let your illusions be shattered, by becoming transparent. Now, what does it mean to become transparent? It means telling the truth. It means allowing whatever changes that need to occur. So I'm going to allow, right now, universe, I'm willing to allow whatever changes that need to occur in my life to occur. That is becoming transparent. You are telling the truth and you are willing that whatever changes need to happen. That's when you're growing your Christ mind. So, in the way of knowing, you ask yourself constantly, where am I being inauthentic? Where am I being inauthentic? Where am I being inauthentic? Where are you 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 just showing up the way that you think Harry down the street needs you to show up? So where are you showing up the way you think somebody else needs you to show up? Where are you showing up the way you think somebody else thinks you should show up? In other words, where am I being a vegetarian so that I can feel superior to those who are not? It's the round crowd to use that kind of example. I pride myself, I only eat sprouts. That's it. I want bacon on my lard with MSG and a little gluten on the side. I freak the servers out and say, does this have gluten? I want gluten. That'd be the last thing they'd be expecting. They come to the table with gas masks on, you know, it's gluten. But you know what? You got to always honor your heart.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was saying, see? So if you heard me right, you wouldn't care about anything that I'm saying. You still keep on doing your sprouts.
That's right. Yeah.
Then you know you're getting it. You see what I'm saying? Then we'll get to the point we can truly communicate without losing each other. To me, the couples that I envy the most are the ones who can let each other have it verbally and share whatever's coming through, and they still at the end of the day going, hey baby, let's go to the movie. Not the ones as soon as you say something, they freaked out for the next 3 weeks. Because they can't take nothing. Because if you really love each other, you don't even confuse the person with the stuff that's coming through them. You know that's just their fear. That's all. They're just scared. That's why they're jealous. They're afraid. They just need to know that they're loved. They've forgotten. And if I really care about you, why is that a sacrifice of me to let you know I love you when you're scared? That's what I said. You should always be in relationships with people you love, or either people you think you do. You really need to give it a good shot with. That's what you're saying, the marriage ceremony. I'm going to give this the best shot I can, baby. We're going to see what we can do. And now pronounce you man and wife. That's our vows. I ain't going to kill you when you kill me, dog. And now pronounce you man and wife. Because in the end, that's what you want to know. You know. Then the next question, where am I controlling my diet because I'm afraid? Am I not eating that potato chip because I think I'm going to die from it? Or am I just choosing not to eat potato chips now? And where am I controlling my diet because I'm afraid that this substance will make me less spiritual? You certainly can't be spiritual and have a ribeye. I thought you were spiritual earlier, but I saw you eat that hot dog, man. And I don't believe that story that was just research work you was doing at Shotgun Willis. You were just doing your spiritual work. I was just trying to see the body another way. Like in the corner, in the back, in the dark. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't get too serious about this stuff because that's how we got in this predicament to begin with. We forgot how to laugh. I'm sorry, I'm not going along with y'all serious spiritual students. Where am I getting up and going to the same job every day when I know in the depth of my being that I just do not want to be there anymore? To live authentically, in some sense, is to live alone. Wow. And to live alone simply means that you no longer are run by needing to look a certain way. I'm not run by needing to look a certain way. I'm not run by the need to look a certain way, succeed in a certain way. I'm not a successful teacher unless I'm on Oprah. So I taught for 30 years and I've never made even the 9 o'clock Channel 9 news. So I'm a very unsuccessful teacher. See, if I judge myself that way, it wouldn't be a lot of fun. wouldn't be enjoying it very much. So it's important to stop judging your success by worldly values that you say you're becoming spiritual to let go of. So I'm trying to let go of the world's values, right? But then I turn around and say, well, if I don't make $1 million a year, I must not really be getting this spiritual stuff down either. That's a totally worldly perspective of success, which is what we say is the limitation we're trying to go beyond in our thinking. If I'm really being spiritual, I lose that 50 pounds. Then I'm really spiritual. My spiritual path must be working because I wanted to be a size 6, and now I am. You see what I'm saying? That's still a totally egotistical, worldly value. So if you're awakening, you're not judging yourself by the world's values anymore. Does that mean you're going to let yourself go to pot? Well, it don't matter anyway, so I just wear this Kroger sack. No. I ain't gonna comb my hair. She gonna love me for my true self. You know? Your body is less of a distraction if you do with it what you think you must. If you think you need lipstick on it, put some lipstick on that body. Because you'll feel better about yourself. You see? Why are you learning that your worth isn't in the lipstick? See? You don't have to fight your old self to be your new self. Woo! Woo! My God, this is a long class. Bonnie Parker, I've been knowing you 20 years. This class has been about 20 years. I know. Me and Bonnie them kind of been friends so long, just like, it's like, we have to stay friends.
I know.
It's just too much. She knows too much. I'll never make Bonnie mad. No way. Anyway, that's right. She always witnesses to my innocence. See how she's smiling? That's what she's been doing for 20 years. And you have to feel innocent when someone is always expressing joy in your presence. It must mean something about you is really cool.
That's true.
And so the easiest way to show people that you see them as innocent is to be happy in front of them. You don't even have to tell them you're innocent. They'll know they're innocent if all they see is joy in your face because you're around them. But if you sit and be like this, I wouldn't believe they're innocent. I could get mad at somebody back in the day and not talk to them for a week. Be in the same house, don't even talk. Now, who do you think that was affecting? When I look back at all the stuff that I've done in the past that I thought I was doing to somebody else that I was just doing to myself, it freaks me out. Woo! So those of you of the younger generation, old Elder Earl wants to tell y'all something. Cut this shit out. He said shit. And he ate a real bite. No! This is a cult. He couldn't be spiritual. Real bite and a curse word. God would never use him. Oh man, I tell you. My ego is just so cruel. It's got Popeye's chicken going in front of my face. With some red beans and rice. So get that Tuesday 99-cent special. But if I'm a true spiritual aspirant, I will not. I am going to Whole Foods. I'm just where I'm going. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's been a trip, boy. I was like in a volcano of love for the last 2 weeks. It's like somebody put me in a microwave, slow cooking, roasting oven of love, and it just it's bringing up everything. all my unresolved fears and love and resentment and stuff that I buried that I didn't even know was there. So it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's like, God damn. All I want to be is real. Any questions? Any comments? Anything that I've said so far? So little I've covered. I just want to know now. Yes, my dear. You are that generation I was talking about.
I want to know now. The thing you said about how you like left your job because you weren't following your heart. What if that same situation, but you had a belief that, like, you wouldn't be provided for if you weren't employed? You know
Exactly. Great question. I didn't make that move until I had worked on having a relationship with God that I thought was real. That's the only reason why I've been able to do this for 27 years. Because, and I love all of you, but I know you probably not going to be around all the time. You see what I'm saying? So I had to learn that something was going to provide for me regardless, which is why the Course has a big thing about I'm sustained by the love of God. And what people I don't think people really sometimes realize is that the Course in Miracles, the purpose of the Way of Mastery and the Course in Miracles is to get rid of the blocks to your awareness, to being connected to the Source, to get us out of that atheistic state of thinking that we're alone and self-sufficient. Right. So what you're doing now, allowing yourself to establish that relationship to the divine within yourself, that's what allows you to make those kind of choices without going crazy with fear. Because we don't realize how used to we get so used to that paycheck coming in. And so we'll be on the job that's paying us and paying our bills, but we'll be complaining about it. Like, I wish I was somewhere else. I wish I was doing my own thing. And we don't realize that we got the daring of a satisfied stomach. In other words, the reason why I'm so bold right now is my bills are getting paid. The check is coming in every week. And that's why I can sit up and say, I wish it was so different and I'm so upset about this. But when you take that leap, all of a sudden you see it from the other side. And then you get a chance to see whether or not you really believe in what you're doing, if it's really coming from your heart. Now, and this is the good news. That which created us and that which loves us will support us no matter what decision we make. You know what I'm saying? But it's us that are either going to give ourselves a lot of fear or not around the decision. So I always tell people it takes an entirely different attitude being self-employed, quote unquote, with a capital S, than when it looks like you're being employed by somebody else, even as you being self-employed too. You're just doing it through what appears to be an employer. Right. You know what I'm saying? So doing what you're doing now, working on that faith element, is the key to doing it in a peaceful way. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Yes.
So it's interesting what we're talking about following your heart and not following the world standards. But I'm also realizing that sometimes I also still tend to follow old religious standards. Because, for instance, I am fascinated by zombies, and I love the show The Walking Dead. I just love to watch it. But, you know, like, I don't like to say that a lot because I'm like, well, you know, if I was really spiritual, I wouldn't be watching.
And I bet you be watching The Walking Dead sometime, have a hamburger or something too, don't you? I bet you it's really failing on every level. So your comment.
So I'm realizing that, you know, like, yeah, I'm still like holding myself to certain old religious standards.
That's right.
Then I need to let go of.
That's exactly right.
And like just follow my heart. And
that's right.
And if I'm like fascinated and love that show, just love it.
And you could also always ask the universe to use that television show to wake you up. Because it's neutral. We're the ones that's making it a big deal. You know, like the two people that got their head chopped off, you know, they hanging out at the club later on that night. You know what I'm saying? And it's an illusion. Nothing's happening. Nobody's dying. It's not real blood. There's nothing you see on TV and any of those things are really happening. Then people say, why don't you just crowd your eye, your mind with those images? Then you don't need to watch it. That's all. But you shouldn't be it's like you're saying, if for whatever reason you look at it and it brings you a great deal of joy and suspense. And who am I to judge that? Who am I to say what's right for you to look at and not to look at? That's part of that ego judgment, inflated ego stuff. Right. So you're innocent, even if you watch The Walking Dead. You're innocent, even if you go out here tonight and a zombie grab your butt. You are totally innocent. We heard you like zombies. You create your reality. Well, man, you see what you created. Yes.
That gave me a thought, about the energies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I already know the answer, but I'm just gonna ask a question anyways. You can come to a point where you are so stable in your belief of who you are and stuff, and still or listen or watch things that are filled with ego. That's where you could be in the world but not of the world, right?
Right. Well, actually what you're doing is you're getting the ego acted out for you, mm-hmm. so that you can see exactly what not to do. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what when you get to watching a show in the world, an ego show in the world, what it's just showing you is this is how a fearful mind operates that thinks it's separate. That's all you're seeing on every one of those shows. Mm-hmm. And you'll get to the point after you study this stuff long enough that you can predict every inch of the plot before the thing is even over. And then you're going to get that way about your friends and family. You're gonna, it's because it's your ego, and you're going to become so good at looking at your ego and recognizing it's your ego and others that you can talk to a person 5 minutes and you'll know exactly the experience that you're going to have with them based on what they believe. So then again, you got a choice of whether or not you're going to go on that ride or not go on that ride. But you cannot say, I didn't know that this person was probably going to project and blame and not take responsibility, because they're already doing that. They're already holding you responsible for their happiness, or they're still mad at the mate that they just had, or they're blaming the economy for not having money. If you listen to somebody that's talking like that, you know that they're afraid. And fearful people can be vicious sometimes and hurtful sometimes. That's just the nature of a fearful mind. So when I'm with somebody, I'm not looking for them to say that they read the Way of Mastery and they read the Course in Miracles. I'm simply listening to see how much responsibility they're taking for their experience. That's the way you want to start. Start with that. How much is this person taking responsibility for their experience? How much do I hear them attributing everything to something outside of themselves? That's it. That's it. Just that simple. But the part of us that doesn't want us to know this does everything it can to make us go to sleep when we hear it or forget it. That's why in classes like this, it can be such a challenge for people to stay awake sometimes. Because the part of them that hates them doesn't want them to hear the way out of that. So then they go unconscious. And that puts their ego to sleep, and then it goes right in. So I don't care if people go to sleep in my class. It's just putting their ego out the way so it can go in even better. Because I know it's going to make you get sleepy. Unless you get to that point that you are so happy to be going beyond your old way of treating yourself that you're hanging on every word of the truth because it just invigorates you. Some people, these kind of words invigorate as much as some people that put them to sleep. You know what puts me to sleep? Regular conversation. Regular way of thinking in the world. That's what puts me to sleep. But it used to be the other way. This kind of stuff, as you can notice, I'm enlivened. I'm not like this. Because it took a while. At the beginning, I was like this. So people who are like this, it's okay. Okay? I love you anyway. I'm just going to draw some lipstick around your eyes. But I got to have some fun with it, Yes, we're going to do you.
Earl, I liked what you were talking about regarding the one. Can you talk a little bit more about oneness?
Well, at this level, the Course teaches that since it looks like we're separate, the easiest way for us to do oneness is to have one purpose. To in a practical way, like in the sense that all of us are sharing the purpose tonight of allowing ourselves to experience more peace. That's us experiencing oneness. And another term for oneness is sameness. So when I say we're the same, that's the same as saying we're one. And how are we the same? We are responsible for what we see. We choose the feelings we experience. We decide upon the goals we would achieve. And whatever's happening to us at some level, we are creating it. That's how we're all the same. Now, we're going to each do it in our own flavor, but we're all doing the same thing. That's why I was talking about, well, how do you use this power to your advantage? By no longer being subject to the opinions of others, getting in touch with your innocence, going beyond your social mask, learning how to follow your heart. That takes courage. So the Course also teaches that whenever you're afraid, it just means you're relying on your own strength separate from God. So every time you're afraid, you're supposed to say, I'm just relying on myself alone right now. I'm afraid because I'm relying on myself alone right now. I feel afraid because I'm relying on myself alone right now. And if you were to say that, then you would totally have a different experience of fear. You would be using fear to wake you up. Because as soon as you say my fear means I am just relying on myself, then that's an immediate reminder of God, of the universe, that you're not alone at the exact same time. You know, so oneness is us recognizing at this level that we're the same. That's another way of looking. There are many ways to look at it, but those are just a couple. Yeah, okay. All right, good. Okay, let's acknowledge ourselves for hearing this much. Come on, let's do it for us. Lord have mercy. Let me do something right quick. Da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Thank you for sharing with me in my full-time ministry with the Way of Mastering Course in Miracles. Thank you for your financial expressions of appreciation. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. We are sustained by the love of God. We are sustained by the love of God. Thank you, God. Those online that are watching the classes, if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, just go to my website, earlpurdy.com, earlpurdy.com. And thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for the emails and the comments and the sharings that I get. Also want to shoot a good shout out to my whole Ibiza family out there, as well as my family in here. And I'm available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where I use my knowledge of astrology, numerology, the Way of Mastering, the Course in Miracles, and 30 years of experience, and we bring all that to your issue, whatever it is you want to see differently, whatever it is you want to heal. So thank you, and Sunday 1 o'clock is the next Course in Miracles class. I want to take a minute to absolutely, totally acknowledge and thank CJ for covering for me while I was gone. So we acknowledge CJ. Now CJ self, I'm telling you that was us doing it. And also yesterday was her birthday, so that's yes. All right. Yes. And Carrie, your birthday is right around the corner. Thursday. That's another birthday in the house. See, she's trying to go into the next year even wiser. That's why she's asking all these questions. She wants to experience love and peace. So tonight, I would like to bring it home by saying one thing I heard tonight that I would love to really remember is, anybody, just to start sharing. One thing I heard tonight that really either impacted me or I'd like to remember is,
I love others
because I am just relying on myself right now.
Say it again, Tommy.
I am afraid because I am just relying on myself right
I feel afraid because I'm just relying on myself right now. Because I want to repeat it so that people can hear it on the video. Anybody else?
The greatest way I can serve others is to love myself.
The greatest way that I can serve others is to love myself. Did y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Authenticity is the core through which Christ grows.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again.
Authenticity is the core through which the Christ mind grows.
Authenticity is the core through which the Christ mind grows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I am unique, and love flows through me in like a unique way, in my unique way, so there's no competition.
There's no competition. Nobody can do it like you, Chris. That's why even as you know, give them a zombie for your Valentine's present.
I bet they never got a present like that though.
That's deep, isn't it? I'm telling you. Anybody else? Something that you heard? Yes.
If there's something I'm fearful of sharing, that's my doorway.
Yes. Yes. There's something I'm afraid to share, and with the person I'm afraid to share, that is the doorway to God consciousness. That's the doorway to love. Right there. You're looking right at it. Anybody else heard anything else? Yeah.
Intention to remember our oneness.
That's because that's all it is. I need to remember what I don't see. Because perception fools us. So perception says we're separate. So knowledge is beyond perception. So if I look at you as spirit, as unlimited consciousness, even though you look like you're a body, then I'm staying aware. And that's what it's about. Yes.
Well, I have this thought about the oneness thing and like God's love is like consciousness is all things. And the thing about like following your heart, like there's so much that, I mean, we think we can't do this because we're spiritual or whatever, but there's so much like we think we can't do because it's something, like not even spiritual, like I'm spiritual, I can't do this, but even thinking like I'm a good person, I can't do this.
That's right.
When like in reality, like your spiritual path and your awakening could call you to do things that a quote unquote good person wouldn't do.
Yes.
And so people don't do them out of fear, and
Yes.
it could lead to awakening.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Because in the end, it's follow your heart, coming from your authentic core. And if you're coming from there, then whatever you're doing is going to be right. It's going to be the right thing to do. Yeah.
So following your heart is opposite of what the world has taught you.
In 90% of the time. It's like if I want to do something, if I want to know the truth of something, I always say, what does the world believe about this? And then I tell myself the truth must be exactly the opposite, you know, truly. Because the world says we're separate and we're in competition and there's not enough and somebody else is doing it to you. And the truth just says the opposite. Yes, my darling.
You attract what you put out, is what it felt like. You were speaking earlier, if you're angry, then that's what you're going to get back.
Yeah. And even if the thing about it is it distorts your perception, so you probably are going to project on someone that something that they're doing isn't really what they're doing anyway. One of the biggest breakthroughs is when you stop trusting your conflict and fear as being, that's when you're seeing things correctly because you're so mad. And I wouldn't be this angry about something that really wasn't true. You see what I'm saying? So when you wake up, it's just the opposite. You go, I'm so mad, I'm seeing this completely incorrectly right now. There's another way I need to look at this. You know, that's the way it's working now. Earl, you're upset with me. You shouldn't trust the doggone thing you're telling yourself about whatever you're perceiving right now. You know that, right? Why? Because you're not feeling peace right now. So you're not seeing things clearly. Just that one little thing will make such a difference in your life. It'll blow your mind. Because everybody in here is capable of taking whatever upsets them and using that to remind them that they must not be seeing correctly right now if they want to. And then you can get the answer at that point because you're more interested in being happy than you are in being right. So the universe can come in. Yes?
Where do changes need to occur in taking responsibility for what's going on in your life?
That's right.
That's the biggest one.
That's the biggest one. Taking 100% responsibility. Did you all relate to what I was saying about freeing you? Like understanding, like freeing you really is me not trying to control you in any way. And trusting you, trusting the Christ, the love, the spirit in you. You know, and that whatever's guiding me is also guiding you. It's not like I'm so special that spirit just gave a voice just for me. So all of us must have access equally to the truth, even in everywhere, which is awesome. Cool. Yes.
It's okay for us to take off our Halloween masks and see each other for who we really are. That really resonated with me.
Yeah. Sometimes we have that moment where maybe the truth will come through, and for just for a second there'd be a glitch in the matrix, right? And we'll for a second actually feel like this could be true. He's crazy, but it could be true, you know. And when we have that moment, it's like, then we go back, you know, we go back really quick, you know. But then those little moments get, you know, they get larger and larger and larger. Okay, so let me finish up now. So just kind of take a breath. It's going to take 2 or 3 minutes for me to do a quick little wrap up. I'm so grateful and so thankful for everybody here. I love here. I love being here. I feel love here as much as I feel love there. And I want you to know that it just came in a different form. There was salsa dancing around me. And yeah, it's a trip. All right, here we go. It's alright. It's alright. Have a good time. 'Cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright. We're gonna move it slow. Now remember, you and you alone are creating your innocence. When I say you, I'm talking about you with the capital Y, not the little y. So let me tell you, you and you alone are creating your tomorrows. You and you alone are creating your tomorrows, creating your tomorrows. If you create inauthentically now, if you create inauthenticity now, you can rest assured that you will experience it tomorrow if you do it right now. But if you create imprisonment for your soul now, then you will experience it tomorrow. So what you want to remember is love heals all things, transmutes all things, embraces all things. So ask yourself this question: what changes can I make so that I am truly showing up in a more authentic way? I'm going to say that over and over again until you kind of remember it. It goes like this. What changes can I make so that I am truly showing up in a new, authentic way? I say, what changes can I make so that I am truly showing up in a more authentic way? What changes can I make so that I am only truly showing up in a more authentic way? What changes can you make so that you are truly showing up in a more authentic way? What changes can I make? What changes can I make? Ask yourself, what changes can I make? What changes can I make so that I am truly showing up in a more authentic way? You and you alone are creating your innocence. Ask yourself, how can I show up in a much more authentic way? I tell you again now, follow your heart. From the start, I say, follow your heart. I say from the start, follow your heart. I say, follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. 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 I tell you, every time I'm around you all, I just get a great big heart on. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming. Yes.
Before we let everyone go, just a reminder that we have